Do you know how much a truck driver makes in a month living inside a machine that never stops moving? You pass them every single day. 80,000 pounds, 18 wheels, one person inside. Some say truckers clear 100,000 a year. Others say they're broke, exhausted, and quitting. Both are true. And the reason why is fascinating. Today, real monthly numbers, real cost per mile data, and the strangest business trap in America where drivers triple their income and end up poorer. Because here's the secret nobody tells you. A truck driver isn't paid for his time. He's paid for his motion. Let's get into it. Before we count anybody's money, hit subscribe and help me out. It's free, and it's the only thing I'll ever ask you for. 3 a.m. Interstate 80. Somewhere in Nebraska. The whole country is asleep. Except him. 70% of everything you own moved on a truck. Your phone. Your groceries. The chair you're sitting in. 3.5 million Americans drive for a living. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Trucking isn't a driving job. It's a mileage business. Most drivers aren't paid hourly. They're paid by the mile. Cents per mile. The industry calls it CPM. And that one detail rewrites everything about this job. Because if the wheels stop turning, the money stops too. Traffic jam? Unpaid. Loading dock? Unpaid. Broken down truck? Unpaid. Snowstorm shutdown? Unpaid. Time doesn't pay. Only pavement pays. Quick rewind because this job built modern America. Before highways, everything moved by rail. Trains ruled. Then the 1950s built the Interstate System 40's 7,000 miles of open road. Suddenly a truck could reach any door a train never could. Trucking exploded. And the country reorganized around it. For decades, freight rates were set by the government. Then 1980, deregulation. The market took the wheel. Rates dropped. Competition surged. Anyone could start a carrier. That single decision created the boom and bust cycle this industry still rides today. So the number you clicked for. What does a month look like? Start with the company driver and employee with a rig. Typical pay, 50 to 70 cents per mile. A hard-running solo driver covers about 2,500 miles a week, 10,000 miles a month. That's cross-country, 3 times over. At 60 cents a mile, $6,000 a month, gross industry data lines up almost exactly, the median trucker earns around $6,600 a month. That's roughly $94,000 a year. Well above the American median income. Genuinely good money. Specialized freight pays even better. Refrigerated loads. Fuel tankers. Oversized machinery. Hazmat certification alone can add real money to every mile. Not all trucking lives are the same. Either over the road, weeks away, the highest miles, the highest pay. Regional, out a few days, home most weekends. Local, home every night but fewer miles and lower pay. The industry's oldest trade-off, in 3 flavors: money, miles, or your own bed. Pick 2. Then there's the trick veterans swear by. Team driving. 2 drivers. 1 truck. The wheels never stop. Federal rules cap a solo driver at 11 driving hours a day. A team just swaps seats and keeps rolling. Team freight is urgent freight. Urgent freight pays premium. Teams commonly clear $90,000 a year each. The cost? You live in a rolling closet with another human. Forever? That's the trade. Now let's ride along for 1 real month. Meet Ray. 12 years driving. Dry van. Home base, Ohio. Monday, 5 a.m., pre-trip inspection. Tires, brakes, lights, straps, federally required. Unpaid, then the electronic logbook goes on and the clock starts watching. This little device changed trucking forever. Before it, drivers kept paper logs and paper is flexible. Now every minute is tracked, time-stamped, and enforced. 11 hours driving. 14-hour work window. Then 10 hours off. Run 1 minute over, and the truck logs a violation. 9:15, the shipper. And here comes the industry's oldest thief. Detention time. Ray waits 3 hours for a load to be ready. The clock runs. The wheels don't. The pay doesn't either. Most contracts pay detention only after 2 free hours, and collecting it is its own paperwork battle. Studies estimate detention costs drivers billions every year. 12:30, finally loaded. Now the real day begins. 500 miles to Georgia. Ray drives 7 hours. No radio drama, just road. This is the part outsiders romanticize and drivers rarely do. 8 p.m., the hunt for parking. And this is trucking's most underrated crisis. America has far more trucks than legal overnight spaces. Drivers routinely burn an hour of their clock just looking. An hour of hunting is an hour not driving, and an hour not driving is money that never existed. 9:30, shower, microwave dinner, bunk, curtain closed. This truck is his home for 3 straight weeks, which brings us to the cost nobody puts in a spreadsheet. Birthdays missed. Games missed. Anniversaries by phone. Long-haul drivers are gone 200 nights a year. Some drivers say the paycheck is really overtime for absence. It's the highest paying job in America you can get without a college degree, and the price is measured in nights. By month's end, Ray logs about 10,000 miles. Gross $6,100. Company truck, company fuel, company insurance, health coverage. His expenses? Food, showers, and coffee. Ray keeps most of what he earns. Remember that. Now, how does anybody even get into this seat? It starts with a CDL, a commercial driver's license, 3 to 7 weeks of school, $5,000 to $10,000. Many carriers pay the tuition with a catch. Work a year for them, or repay every dollar. Then the rookie year, and it's genuinely humbling. Learning to back a 53-foot trailer between 2 trucks at 2 a.m. in the rain with a line waiting behind you. New drivers earn the lowest cents per mile in the business, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and every mistake is expensive, which is why first-year turnover is famously brutal. Some big carriers replace nearly their entire fleet of drivers yearly. Survive year 1, and the money finally starts working. Because now we reach the fork in every trucker's career. The dream every driver has at 3 a.m., buy your own truck. Become an owner-operator. Be your own boss. Keep the whole check. And the gross numbers are genuinely stunning. Owner-operators gross $200,000 to $340,000 a year. Company driver, $94,000. Owner-operator, $300,000. Triple the money. Same road. Same truck. Why doesn't everybody? Because gross revenue is the most dangerous number in trucking. Watch what happens to it. First, the truck itself. Payments of $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Then fuel, the monster. 55 to 75 cents of every single mile. A truck burns a gallon every 7 miles with a 100-gallon tank. One fill-up can cost more than most people's car payment. Then, insurance. A record 10 cents a mile, and premiums have climbed nearly 50% since 2010. Then, maintenance, about $1,200 a month. Tires alone run $500 each. There are 18. One blown engine, $20,000 to $40,000. Add permits, tolls, scales, parking, plates, and taxes. Industry cost data puts the all-in number around $2.26 per mile. Now hold that number, and look at what freight actually pays. Freight rates are set by a live market called the spot market. Loads get posted. Truckers bid. Prices swing daily. In good years, rates run $3 a mile and everybody eats. In bad years, rates collapse and the math turns brutal. Recently, contract rates bottomed near $2 a mile. Costs, $2.26. Rates, $2.02. Which means the average carrier lost money on every mile driven. Not slow growth. Not thin margins. Losses per mile. In a single quarter, more than 31,000 trucking companies shut down. Most were one guy with one truck and a loan. They call it the trucking bloodbath. It happens every cycle. And there's one more silent killer in the numbers. Empty miles. Deadhead, you deliver in Nevada. The next load is in Utah. 300 miles of fuel, wear, and hours for $0. Nearly 1 in 6 miles runs empty across the industry. Sound familiar? The Uber driver's ghost miles. Bigger truck, same ghost. So what does an owner-operator actually keep? Industry accounting firms track it every year. Average owner-operator net income, around $72,000. $6,000 a month. Sound familiar? That's roughly what Ray makes driving a truck he doesn't own, with zero debt, zero repair bills, and health insurance. One driver put it perfectly in a trucking forum: my gross went from $65,000 to $220,000. My net went from 65 to about 78. Triple the revenue. Barely more money. 10 times the risk. That's the trap. And it's the most important lesson in this video. Revenue is what you touch. Profit is what you keep. Every street business in this series learned it the same way. And one more trap deserves its own warning label: the lease purchase program. Carriers offer drivers a truck with no down payment, weekly payments taken straight out of the settlement. Own your truck in 3 years, the brochure says. In practice, the same company controls your loads, your rates, your maintenance shop, and your paycheck. Drivers call it renting a truck while carrying an owner's risk. Plenty walk away with nothing after 2 hard years. Veterans have a blunt rule about it: if it sounds free, read twice. And one more slice takes its cut before the driver, the freight broker, the middleman of the highway. Brokers connect shippers to trucks, keeping 15 to 20%. The load pays $2,500. The driver sees $2,000. Sound familiar? Uber's take rate. Same idea, bigger vehicle. So how do the winners actually win out there? Rule 1. Know your cost per mile before you take a load. Most failed operators never calculated it once. Rule 2. Chase net rate, not big numbers. A $3 load into a dead zone loses to a $2 load home. Rule 3. Fuel efficiency is free money. 1 extra mile per gallon is worth thousands a year in profit. Rule 4. Keep 6 months of repair money parked. The engine doesn't schedule its emergencies. And Rule 5. The smartest move might be not buying at all. Plenty of veterans stay company drivers on purpose: good pay, zero debt, and somebody else's problem when it breaks. Now, a quick word about the shadow on this whole industry: self-driving trucks. Autonomous rigs already run freight lanes in a few states. Long, straight interstates are the easiest driving there is and the easiest to automate. But the messy parts stay human for a long while. City streets, tight docks, strapping a load, chaining up in snow. Nobody knows the timeline. Every driver has an opinion. Meanwhile, 3.5 million people keep the country fed. So the final math. The number you clicked for. A new company driver's first year, $3,000 to $4,000 a month. An experienced solo driver, $5,000 to $7,000 a month. Team drivers and specialized freight, $7,000 to $9,000. Owner-operators, gross $20,000 a month, and net, on average, about $6,000. The best-run small carriers push $7,000 to $10,000 net. The unlucky ones lose the truck and the savings together. The steering wheel was never the variable. The miles, the rates, and the spreadsheet decide everything. So the 2 claims from the start. Who was right? Both. The company driver banks a solid, boring, reliable check. The owner-operator rides the market up and violently down. Same road. Same hours. Completely different businesses. So the next time a semi passes you on the interstate, engine roaring, trailer full. Driver you'll never meet, remember what's really moving down that road. Not just cargo. A business the size of a small company running on cents per mile, losing money every hour it isn't moving, and carrying 70% of everything you own. Every shelf you've ever shopped was stocked by that wheel. Now you know what it pays and what it costs. If this changed how you see that rig, subscribe. Because next time, we're counting somebody else's miles.